When designing a load test, it is a common goal to emulate real-world requests to the best extent possible. It is easy to generate thousands of requests with JMeter. However, there is often a need to generate many different requests. Using parameterization, this is a straightforward task. In this brief video, we will illustrate the steps of parameterizing your JMeter requests from a CSV data source. The first prerequisite to this is having a prepared CSV file. You can use a spreadsheet application such as Excel. Here we've generated a CSV with two columns. We have item code and price. Once we have our CSV file, we'll want to create a JMeter test that uses it. The first step is to add an element to our test plan called a CSV dataset config. We'll go ahead and add that now. Once added, we can configure the CSV data source. The file name is the only field that is usually required. However, if our CSV file does not contain a header row, we can specify a comma delimited list of column names. Correspondingly, column names in either case will become variable names when referenced within our test. The next step would be to use data fields from our CSV file to create variable requests. Let us add an HTTP request element to illustrate this. Under the Parameters tab is where we'll add the specific maps to CSV data source fields. Notice that JMeter uses a specific convention for referencing values in the parameterization fields. This corresponds to the CSV column name. The convention itself is a $sign with the column name enclosed in curly braces. The name column corresponds to actual parameters used within the HTTP request. Let's go ahead and add a reference to our second column. Once we have completed the test plan, it's time to upload it to Redline 13. However, since our test plan is dependent on a CSV file, we'll have to upload that as well. Let's start by first logging in, selecting Start a New Test, and then selecting JMeter Test. We'll upload our JMX test plan file as usual. Now, under Extra Files, we'll upload our CSV. We'll check the JMeter version, and then we're ready to click on Start Test. The test will take a few minutes to start and run. Here are the results of our test. Notice that in this example, we've only made 10 requests. However, our sample CSV file contains 20 rows. A useful feature of JMeter is to recycle your CSV file records across more requests than you have rows in your CSV file. What we mean is, if you have a CSV file with 20 entries of data and you want to run 100 requests, you can recycle these 20 CSV file entries across 100 or even more requests. Going back to our JMeter test plan, let's set up a test like that. Instead of 10 threads running, let's run 100. Each thread will run a single request. Again, using Redline 13 as an example framework to run your JMeter test, we'll upload our new test plan. And for further illustration, we'll run this test on multiple servers. So now, even though we only have 20 rows defined in our CSV file, we're going to attempt to run 300 requests using those 20 data source records. Let's click on Start Test. Again, it will take a few minutes for our test to run. And now that our test has resulted, you can see that there are many more requests than there are rows in our CSV file. Another useful feature that platforms such as Redline 13 offers is the ability to split your CSV file across multiple load generator servers. This is a different scenario that will generate unique requests from each of your load generator servers. In this platform, we simply click the split option. Finally, referring to our log file, we can see that each request has been parameterized from a value in our CSV file.